Hey everybody, welcome back to Fernsby. It's a beautiful day, a little warm, a little humid, but we're doing great.
So today's going to be a quick trip into the hives. We're just checking to see if our caged queens have been released into Jade and Ruby. And if they are, we're going to button them back up. And then we've decided to take the heavy honey super on top of Ruby and split that between our two nuke hives, Amethyst and Topaz, because we were feeding while we asked Ruby's hive to draw earlier this season.
Which she did a great job at, by the way.
Amazing job. But once they drew it out, they started backfilling some of it with our sugar syrup. So to maintain consistency in a clean, pure product, we're going to go ahead and take those honey super frames and put them into what'll be the brood nest of Amethyst and Topaz.
Yeah, that's why that way the nukes will eat the honey, the sugar syrup honey. We don't harvest that.
No.
They get the resources they need. They get comb that they desperately need, and they'll pull that honey out and they'll fill it. Hopefully, the queens will fill that with eggs to get their population a real good boost.
Right. So that's the plan for today. Quick in and out.
Yep.
Okay. So we are at Jade Hive. And we're going to be getting into this hive just to check and see if the queen has been released. And if she has, we'll remove the cage. And if she hasn't, we'll just button them right back up without messing with it.
There's the cage. She's not in there. She's been released.
All right, perfect.
Can you see that? The candy's gone. The candy's gone. Can you see that?
Yes. And
she's not in there, so she's in the box.
All right. Success.
All right, here we are at Queen Ruby. We're going to see if she's been released too. Since we've seen Jade out, it's probably a good indication Ruby's out too.
Yep. Oh, the cage is falling.
Yep, she's out.
Well, she's definitely out.
There it is.
All right.
Okay.
They seem much happier today than they have been over the last week or two too, so.
Yep.
I think they're getting much more settled and fall in love with their new mom.
All right, so
we're just going to button them back up because we want them to stay happy. Psst, psst. All right, so we took this honey super off of Ruby because that was one of the frames from last year that we wanted them to draw on. Well, one of the boxes with the frames inside that we wanted them to draw out the comb because it had been eaten by the bear. But because it's a honey super and we did have it on while they were drawing, a little bit of the sugar syrup did get backfilled into some of the cells as they drew it out. So to make sure that gets used, we're going to be putting that in the purple suit. That's the purple box behind is going to become part of the brood nest of Amethyst, and then we also have a blue one for Topaz. So we'll split the frames out, and then that will allow them to utilize the supplies and start breeding in there, and they'll use those supplies, the honey that's in there, to draw out their own wax. So that way when we harvest the honey supers from Ruby,
Look at that.
it's beautiful. See, they're so industrious. But when we harvest the honey supers from Ruby, it'll be pure wild honey with no chance of it being sugar syrup, because anything that we suspect might have had sugar syrup in it, even to a small degree, we're going to utilize as food stores for the other hives right now. Just doing our best to give the best product we can. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to come over here.
Look at this.
I'll show you that. I'm going to go ahead and start opening these two up. I might need to replace this paper.
Already?
I mean, it's pretty waxy.
Are they chewing it?
Yeah, there's a hole in the middle. Okay.
Are we filming?
Yeah, just let me get in position. Hold on. Okay, so amethyst and the new box.
You want to explain checkerboarding?
So again, this is in an effort to have them draw out their new comb. So we've done what's called checkerboarding, where you put the older comb next to the new foundation, like a checkerboard. And then that lets them come up. Oh, we've got so much room. Look at all this stuff. And they get excited and they're in the space, and it encourages them to draw across. So there is Topaz. And Derek's going to do the exact same thing I just did. I guess the only question I have for you then is over here on Ruby, since we took that super off, do we want to put, we do have foundation, do we want to just put an empty foundation one in there just so that if they draw, they draw?
Do we have that?
Yeah. I've got these foundations here.
Yeah, let's throw those in her box.
Let me get my camera positioned correctly. Alright, so now we'll just take the super of new foundation and put it on top of Ruby. Beautiful. I can smell the bees, like the propolis, the wax, and the honey smell. It's pretty cool. All right.
That's it.
I'm gonna come over here and get a shot of the whole apiary.
We took a box off of Jade, right?
Yes. So here is a shot of the whole apiary. We have jade, citrine, amethyst, and topaz. And then ruby and quartz right there. So we've given everybody some supplies and we're asking them to draw out all their foundation. Our 2 queens that we put in have been released. So they have queens. They're going to be laying and really boosting the population. And once this weather kind of evens out in the next week or 2 and the flow really kicks on, we'll see flowers everywhere, and these bees are just going to go to town, and it'll be all we can do to keep up with them at that point. And I'm pretty excited. But quick and simple trip today. And I can tell you, when we first arrived, it looked like amethyst and topaz's bees were getting into the jade hive, or at least attempting to. It's hard to see on the camera because the bees are so small. But, so let's go this way. Where the boxes sit on top of each other, there's tiny little cracks. And the robber bees try to exploit those cracks. And if the population's a little lower and they have a big space, which Jade kind of does right now, then the other bees can sense that like she's queenless or whatever, and they try to get in and rob their supplies, which is obviously bad behavior. You don't want that. It weakens your hive, and it just doesn't make for good neighbor bees, right? So anyway, so we by moving the box of foundation that they hadn't drawn out off of Jade and putting it into Ruby has a bigger population, and so they'll be better able to defend that space. And by giving the honey stores to amethyst and topaz from Ruby, they've already stopped some of their robbing type behavior because they're busy doing stuff in there and exploring that new territory. So that's one way to solve a problem. But it's looking good. We're excited. There's going to be some honey this year, guys. So keep watching. Well, we told you it would be a quick one.
Yep.
So hope you enjoyed it. We are thrilled to pieces to see that both the queens were released, and the 2 hives, the 2 new hives, amethyst and topaz, are just really going to it. That's very exciting to see, and look forward to next week.
Yep, 6 colonies, rocking and rolling.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.
Comment below.
Yep, see ya.